Welcome to another Radiate Insight. I'm Robin Altman. Many at a crossroads struggle with where to find the answers. The options of where to look are endless. You can search YouTube videos, watch TED Talks, buy books, take courses, talk to friends, family, and mentors, attend a personal development workshop, and yet still not feel clear and settled. Why is that? In coaching, we know that no matter what kind of advice a person gets, people own what they themselves create, meaning there's nothing that propels a person more than a choice that they actually believe they made for themselves and made from their heart or their gut. Richard Branson, in his autobiography, mentioned that he had a handful of people that he'd consult whenever he had something big to think through. He'd gather information from multiple sources and carefully consider every bit of it. But at the end of the day, once all of that knowledge and wisdom and information was poured into him, he'd check with his gut and essentially made the best choices from there. This helped guide him in a way that felt authentic and true to him. So where do we find the answers? Ultimately, we find them within ourselves. We all have inner wisdom and inner knowing inside of us, but sometimes the stresses of our lives, our own fears and insecurities, and what we call our inner critic in coaching prevent us from connecting to it. I know that I definitely struggled with this at different times in my life. I just wasn't sure that I had the answer, or that I really believed that I knew what was best for me. How connected are you to your inner wisdom? Some people like to call it their gut or intuition or their soul, their true voice or their true north. The question really is, how much do you trust yourself? I invite you to take a moment and ask yourself, what choice, big or small, have you made in the past, let's say, year or so, that really felt right and that in hindsight was the best choice for you? How did you come up with this choice? What worked in your process and what didn't? Ultimately, connecting with our inner knowing inside of us can be the most powerful way to guide our careers and our lives in general. Here are 3 tips on how to do this in a really focused way. 1, meditate. There have been many studies on meditation confirming that it allows the body and its organs to return to resting state or homeostasis, which also results in quieting the mind. When mind and body are in these relaxed states, the silence allows space for our true self, our inner voice, to emerge in a way of a thought or an aha moment. You can begin by taking a seat and breathing deeply. And before you start your practice, ask yourself the question that you'd like an answer to. And then let it go and begin meditating. How much meditation do you have to do? Well, nobody really knows the answer to that. But suffice to say that if you can include a consistent practice each day, your body will learn this habit and begin responding more readily over time. Number 2, ask the question before sleep. You've heard the expression sleep on it, right? Well, there's good reason for that. When we go to sleep, the brain has an opportunity to process and cleanse itself. This is when the various neurons that were activated by all our interactions and experiences throughout the day have an opportunity to connect with each other and form bonds. This act of connecting is the brain's way of learning, of processing and consolidating memories, bundling new memories together and integrating new information with older information. There are countless studies to support this, and one of them was conducted by Deirdre Barrett, a professor at Harvard Medical School and author of The Committee of Sleep. She studies the ways in which dreams themselves can yield practical insights. In one of her studies, more than 1/3 of the subjects reported that a dream about a problem guided them to a solution. She says, dreams help us get unstuck from our waking mindset. They allow us to see solutions that aren't apparent to our logical conscious minds. Essentially, sleep is a breeding ground where ideas are generated in our brains. So if you ask yourself a question at night and then sleep on it, you can very well wake up with some golden nuggets the next morning. Number 3, review outcomes and results and check in with your intuition. Ask yourself if you had a sense beforehand and how you received that message. This is where you get to be a scientist or observer of your own experience. Think of a situation that worked out very well for you in the past, whatever it might be. Now, ask yourself what signs you remember receiving before you knew the outcome. As you become aware of what worked for you over time and in different circumstances, you can begin noticing these signs ahead of time and become even more confident when they show up. These are only 3 ways to connect with your inner wisdom, but there are so many more. Do you have a way that you use? If you do, I'd love to hear from you by sharing your comments below or sending me an email to robin@radiatecoaching.com. I would love to hear from you. I'd also like to check in with you. How connected are you to your inner wisdom, your inner knowing, and has that served you in guiding your choices and decisions in life? While it may not come naturally to you in all aspects of your life, what's important to know is that life's best answers are living within you right now, and you have an opportunity to connect to them. Once you do, you'll be finding great clarity and confidence and joy in acknowledging the signs and charting your course to your best life. I hope you liked this video and feel free to share it with any colleague, friend, or other connection you have that may find it useful. Get connected to who you are when you're at your best, and you will radiate from the inside out. Thanks for stopping by. I look forward to seeing you next time, and bye for now.